What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin here, coming at you with Google Pixel 6a tips and tricks and hidden features. So stay tuned if you want to get the most out of your device. Now, the first thing I want to show you is how to get a battery percentage in the upper right corner with the Pixel 6a. Now, by default, we just have the battery icon, which of course is helpful, and it does give us some indication on the amount of charge left in the battery on the device. But at the same time, I feel like there's nothing better than having the actual percentage. Now, to enable this, you're going to pull down the shade, go to the gear icon right here, which will take us over to the settings, then go to search, type in battery, and you'll see right there battery percentage. So go there, and then enable that, and then now you'll see that we do indeed have the battery percentage in the upper right corner of the device. And it doesn't matter where we are throughout the operating system, that will always be there. Now, heading back over to the main battery area, there are a few other things I want to show you. Now, the first one is called Battery Saver. So with the Pixel 6a, this device does have very good battery life, but if you do find yourself running short on battery, maybe you have a long day ahead of you, for example, and you know that you're not going to be able to recharge the device anytime soon, then I could definitely see this coming in handy. So when you go to Battery Saver, you can enable it manually. You can also set a schedule if you want to, but essentially with Battery Saver enabled, it's going to cut out a lot of different background tasks and also enable dark theme and also limit some network connections. But again, in return for doing that, you'll be able to get more longevity out of your device. Now, in addition to this, the device will switch off Battery Saver once it does reach a 90% charge, which is certainly pretty helpful. And then also, you can take things even further here with Extreme Battery Saver. So if we go there, so you can see here that this essentially takes the regular battery saver and takes it to the next level. So you can pick when to use it, and then also you can pick which essential apps you want to work when you're in this Extreme Battery Saver mode. And then heading back over to this area again, you can see right here we do have adaptive preferences. So these are enabled by default, but essentially we have options for adaptive battery and adaptive charging. So with all of these various tools here, you should have no problem keeping your Pixel 6a charged at all times. So hopefully all these various tools here will help you get the most battery life out of your Pixel 6a. Now with the Pixel 6a, we have gesture-based navigation enabled by default. So essentially with this enabled, if you swipe from the side, that'll take you back. If you swipe up, it'll take you home. And if you swipe up even further, it'll take you to your recent apps. Now, this is certainly a pretty nice and convenient way to navigate around the phone, but at the same time, I know that there are a lot of people that do prefer the traditional 3-button Android navigation. Now, thankfully, if you do want to use that instead of the gestures, you can easily switch to it. So let me show you how to do that. So you're going to pull down the shade, you're going to go to the settings, we're going to go to search, and then you're going to type in nav, and you'll see right there system navigation. So go there, and then go here, and then you'll see that we do indeed have options for both. So there's the gesture navigation, which is already enabled. Now, if you do want to further customize that, you can go over to this gear icon, and then from there, you can choose to adjust the sensitivity. And if you want it to invoke the Google Assistant, you can have that happen through here as well. I guess I'll give that a try right now. Essentially with that enabled, you just swipe up from a bottom corner, and it does pull up the assistant just like that. But heading back here, we do have that other option for 3-button navigation. So now, with that enabled, this probably looks very familiar. We do have 3 buttons at the bottom of the device for back, home, and recent apps. So if you do prefer this, there it is right there. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we have any way to customize these buttons or to move them around. But if you do want the 3 buttons, then you can easily enable that and then continue using the phone in the way that you want to use it. I don't think one method of navigation is necessarily better than the other. It really comes down to personal preference. Now, the next thing I want to show you are some various display settings. So we're going to go to the main settings page once again. You're then from here going to go to display. And we have some various options here, so I want to walk you through them. We have brightness level, so that'll of course pick the exact brightness you want the display to be at. We also have adaptive brightness, which will automatically adjust the brightness of your device to best fit your surroundings. Then moving on to here, there's screen timeout. Now I did switch that over to 30 minutes since I am making a lot of videos about this device, but you might want to adjust it from the default. I believe that's 30 seconds. So if you want to have the screen on a little bit longer, maybe try 2 minutes or 5 minutes, or if you want it to be a lot shorter than just switch over to 15 seconds. And then this is pretty cool too. It's called screen attention. So if you enable that, it'll prevent your screen from turning off if you're looking at it. In this area, we also have the option to adjust the font size, the display size as well. So if you want everything to be a little bit bigger, you can do that too. We also have the option for picking the color of the display. So if you want it to be more natural, we have that option. There's also boosted right there, and then adaptive. So that's another thing I recommend trying out to see which setting there you prefer. Now, if you're looking for a very quick and easy way to access the camera app, all you have to do is just double press on the power button. So just like that, it pulls up the camera. So that's very quick. And if you want to quickly flip around from the rear camera to the front camera or vice versa, all you have to do is just twist your wrist and you can see it now flips around the camera. So that's pretty awesome. Now, I'm a big fan of the keyboard that comes with the Pixel 6a, but if you do want to have a dedicated number row here, I'll show you how to customize it so that you can get that. So you can see right now, it does share the letters with the numbers. Now, of course, you can go to the corner here to find number keys right there. But if you want to, you can go to the settings, go to preferences, and then you'll see right there number row. So now with that enabled, when we go back here, you'll see that we have a dedicated number row in the main part of the keyboard. Now you can customize things even further. Heading back over to those settings, you can see that there are themes. So you can pick various colors here or different landscapes or gradients. Let's try this gradient. I'll apply that. Let's go back. And now you can see here that the keyboard does indeed have a gradient behind it, which is pretty cool. Now the next thing I want to show you is how to take a screenshot with the Google Pixel 6a. Now there are two different methods for doing this. The first method is to hold down the power button and volume down at the same time for about a second. So there we go, we took the screenshot. Then from there we can share it or edit it. And the other method to take a screenshot is to go to an app of your choosing, then swipe up partially, and then you'll see right there, we have an option for screenshot. So that takes the screenshot just like that. There's also an option here for select. So if we do that, it will then highlight all the text in the frame here. And then from there, you can copy, share, or search that text. So we'll copy that and then exit out of here. And then from there, I can head over to wherever I want to paste that text. But that's certainly a very convenient feature, and I can definitely see that saving a lot of time for people who want to use it. Now let's head back over to the gesture menu so that I can show you some other cool options. So we're going to pull down the shade here, go to the gear once again for the settings, then type in gesture, and you'll see right there gestures under system. Go there. And quite a few of these are enabled already by default, but I just want to highlight most of them. So the first one here is, you can see quick tap to start actions. So this is pretty interesting. I'm going to enable that right now. And this is also an additional method to take a screenshot. I forgot to show you that a little bit ago. I guess I should have included that then. So if you do have take screenshot enabled here, all you have to do is just tap on the back of the device and it will take the screenshot very quickly there. So that's extremely convenient. Let's head back over. You can see we also have options for accessing your digital assistant. So we'll try that right now. And very quick. There's also options for play and pause media, seeing recent apps, showing notifications. Let's give that one a try. And that pulls down the notification shade very quickly there. There's also an option to open an app of your choosing. So maybe you want to do, let's see here, Instagram. We'll go back and let's try that out. And wow, that pulls up the app right away. So that's very convenient. And if you do find yourself accidentally quick tapping, then you do have the option for requiring stronger taps to access this feature. Now this next one I want to show you is called Flip to SHHH. So with this setting enabled, if you put your phone face flat on a surface, it will switch the phone over to Do Not Disturb. So maybe you're in a meeting, for example, and you don't want your phone to make any noise at all, then you can just have this enabled and put the phone face flat on a surface, and just like that, it will put it into Do Not Disturb. So very helpful. And then also when you pick up the phone, it will then take it out of Do Not Disturb. And then the final one that I want to show you here is called one-handed mode. So this device does have a pretty large display, despite it being the smallest display of the Pixel 6 series. But essentially with one-handed mode enabled, you can then move everything further down so they can access the top portion of the display here. So we'll enable that. And you can see that there are some other options and customizations here, but for the default, it will pull the screen down into reach. So we'll try that, and just like that, it does pull down the top portion of the display. Now, if you'd rather have this lower down the notification shade, you can do that too. So we can switch over to that, And then when you swipe down, it'll pull down the shade. So that's very convenient as well. And then finally, for the last option, it is one-handed mode shortcut. So we'll enable that. So you'll see with this enabled, we do have that button in the corner, and then when tapping on that button, it does put the phone into one-handed mode. So right now, doing this does pull down the notification shade, but if you want to, you can also have it just pull down the screen, just like how I showed you before. So you can see that works very well there. So in general, this is a great feature to have, and definitely makes the phone a lot easier to use with just one hand. But this concludes my video on tips, tricks, and hidden features for the Google Pixel 6a. Hopefully this video showed you a lot of different things that you can do with your device, and I certainly hope you found it to be helpful. But if you liked the video, definitely give it a thumbs up. This is Kevin here. I am part of Team Pixel, and this phone is a gift from Google. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.